Abel Correa was shot and killed in his home by Las Vegas Metro Police in August of 2015. Correa suffered from severe mental health issues, and according to the Las Vegas Sun, the mother informed 911 operators about her son's condition. In the United States, there are now more than 3 times more people with a serious mental illness incarcerated in hospitals, according to the Department of Justice. Congresswoman Robin Kelly, who did a report on gun violence in America in 2014, spoke on her personal experiences on this issue.
I have someone in my district that lost her son to police violence. Her son's mentally ill. Usually they were able to, when he either didn't take his medicine or whatever it was that caused him to have a reaction. This one particular time, I think the mom wasn't home, and the police came, and he was going through one of his episodes, and he lost his life.
Jennifer McGowan, Associate Director of National Alliance of Mental Illnesses, NAMI, spoke about how people may act towards mentally ill people.
Individuals who are living with mental health conditions, sometimes again, if they're in an acute state, they might be exhibiting behavior that's not typical, and that scares people.
I was on the red line before in the past, and I've seen them interacting with a person that had a mental illness, and they approached them in a way where they thought that they can function like normal people and didn't have any challenges, and their approach wasn't right.
40-year-old Freddie Centeno, who suffers from a mental illness, was shot and killed by Fresno, California police on September 3, 2015. According to the Huffington Post, Fresno police were called by a woman who said she was threatened by Freddie and stated that he had a gun. Body cam footage shows 2 officers exiting the car and firing several shots. It was later discovered that Freddie had a black garden hose nozzle instead of a gun. Our research points to a connection between mental illness and homelessness. We talked to Jennifer McGowan about this topic, the possible causes, and dangers.
People living with mental illness make up approximately 33% of the homeless population here in Chicago. That's from 2015. So that's a significant portion of people who are homeless in the city. So there definitely is a relationship there.
When we closed a lot of the institutions, I guess, that house mentally ill, or there was less and less housing stock, then I think more mentally ill folks found themselves to be homeless.
And I think those people are very at risk for having increased police conducts and for being victims of police misconduct, because if they're mentally ill, their behavior might be different.
Margie Wakeland, a lawyer for minors who have mental disorders, spoke about how untrained police officers in schools could lead to mistreatment.
I think when I last talked to someone at CPS, they were in 75 schools. They don't receive specialized training for working with kids, especially with youth who have disabilities and mental health disabilities. And so then we start to see more problems.
Jennifer McGowan believes that crisis intervention team training for officers should remain voluntary.
The program that we're using really values this model of people being intrinsically motivated to participate. And I think there's enough interest that we're sort of at capacity for meeting those training needs right now.
However, many believe CIT training should be mandatory.
There are a lot of individuals with mental health needs, and so therefore you never know when you're going to come across someone who has a mental illness, and so you should be prepared.
There's a lot of mental health training around mental health and how to deal with mental illness and understand it that should be mandatory. So like I said, CIT is a very specific kind of training, and it shouldn't be the only training that police officers get around mental health or other disabilities.
Without solutions to move us forward, this problem will continue to worsen and more lives will be endangered.
A lot of people have trauma associated with police encounters, and when they're encountering police officers on the street, it might not be a crisis situation, but they're responding in ways that are informed by their past experiences and negative experiences. And we need police officers to understand that, and that sometimes they have to adjust their conduct to deal with the situations more appropriately.
And if there are CIT trained officers in every watch and every beat, then that'll make a big difference.
Giving staff not just the training, but also the support when they're on the job for how to deal with that stress so that it's not being taken out on the students who are really, can be harmed in those situations.
For more information on protecting the rights of the mentally ill, visit www.nami.org. This is youth reporter Alyssa Chavez,
Corley J.
Jalen Jones,
Carrick Mosby,
KC, signing off.